I'm here to talk about reinventing the modern beverage company, so a little bit different than maybe most people, not talking about agriculture but beverages. I'm the CEO and founder of a team of now around 70 people, mostly water scientists, hardware and software engineers, marketeers, and operational experts, and we are based in Berlin. I want to start by talking about the water companies or how we hydrated in the 20th century. It's basically natural mineral water that comes out of soil, is basically being bottled and shipped to end consumers. Could be glass, could be plastic. It's a massive market, a $250 billion market, but it's also a market that's most detrimental to our planet, and I'm going to come back to that. So that's what it looked like in the 21st century, and our mission or our vision is that we want to change that, if I can click, and build a water company for the 21st century, changing that market, disrupting the $250 billion market by providing solutions, and we're starting at home, that allow people to bottle in a different way and provide water that's in quality and taste similar to bottled mineral water, but is, and that's very, very important, I think, conveniently and sustainably delivered. And I'm going to talk a bit more about this. I'm going to start with you trying to forget a concept that is very core to everyone, and everyone obviously knows this product that's behind me, but I want you to kind of forget about this product for just a second and really kind of erase it and kind of walk with me through the main pillars that make up a product. And what are those pillars? It's price, quality, and because we're talking about food, it's about health and sustainability. So I'm just going to walk through those main pillars, and I'm going to start with price, which is the key decision driver for most product decisions, especially in fast-moving consumer goods, which we are in, right? This is a product that you have forgotten about. Let's start up with price. It's actually, if you really think about it, it's not all that cheap. Globally, we're talking about an average price of $1 per liter bottle. Now, some places like Australia and the Scandinavian countries higher priced, some lower priced like here, but on average, globally, you're talking about $1 per bottle. And I think that's something just to keep in mind. It's actually, on a per unit basis, not that cheap. It's also incredibly, and I think everyone knows that, and I'm going to come back to that, incredibly damaging to the environment. So next to the 3 liters that it takes to produce 1 liter of water, so it takes in the process 3 liters of water, it also, and that's most detrimental, takes 250 ml, so a quarter of a liter of oil to produce a plastic bottle. And that's something that we should keep in mind as well. So this product, not that cheap, and incredibly damaging to the environment, with 250 ml of oil being used in producing 1 liter of a plastic bottle. It's also often not very good for your health. So there's more, and that's on average, more microplastics found in these products than in tap water. And this is, not just some small niche providers. These are providers like Nestle and Danone, where you find more microplastics in the bottles than in tap water. So I want you, or us all, to kind of do a small recap of this product. It's not that cheap. It's not very sustainable, often not very healthy. So if I would take these factors, those are the prime decision makers, the prime things that make up a product, I would say. So you would kind of think it's a niche product, right? It's a product that people don't really buy. But that's actually not true, and I think I already mentioned this in the beginning. It's a $250 billion industry, and it's actually an industry, it's the fastest growing consumer good, FMCG category, 7% CAGR, 7% annual growth since 1999. It's an incredible growth story, just from a financial perspective, incredible, returns. This is, as an example, the average consumption of the US in gallons per household moves from 16 in 1999 to 47 now, and it's still growing. It's incredible growth story. But Oh, sorry. And the question is now, I think, if it's not cheap, if it's not sustainable, if it's not really healthy, why is that? And I think there's two main things that we kind of analyzed and said, okay, that's the key driver of why this market is so big and why this product is so successful, which is one, sorry, not sure where to click, which is that it has completely entrenched distribution. So from this hotel room to your supermarket, to your on-the-go, to your delivery, it's everywhere. It's a great product to distribute and place somewhere. It has a long shelf life. It's easy to transport, not very sustainable, but easy to transport. So it has completely entrenched distribution. So if you want to change this, you have to build a distribution or an accessibility and a user experience, to talk about, in startup speech, that matches this distribution power. So I think that's one element here. I think a second element is that these guys that market bottled water are just really, really good at their job. They're really, really good at building brands. I mean, those FMCG companies are, in essence, marketing and operations companies, and they're just the best at what they do. They've built desirable brands, and if you think about it, it's also kind of genius to actually have something that's see-through, very different to differentiate, and to market it in such a way is genius if you just look at it from a business perspective. And they're just really, really good at it and created the desire and created that market for it. So we said, if you want to change this, then you have to build a different distribution. You have to basically build a product that rivals that distribution, and you also have to build it like those guys do. You have to build it in an emotional kind of way. You have to build it in a branded kind of way that rivals the approach of those FMCG companies. And that's what we're trying to do. I'm jumping ahead. And I think times are changing. So we've heard this a lot today. We live on a planet, and everyone knows this, but I think there's a dawn of realization that that's really the case. We live in a place where there's finite resources. We have to change the way we're hydrating in the 21st century. This is just, and everyone knows these statistics as well, or has read them somewhere, but we are producing, as humanity, more than 1 billion, you have to think of that number, 1 billion bottles every day. More than 1 billion plastic bottles every day. That's 40 billion bottles a month. That's this pile of trash. That's, I think 2-3 times higher than the Eiffel Tower. Every month, 500 billion bottles every year. Single-use or plastic bottles are the largest source of plastic in the world. So if you read the league tables of plastic producers, largest single-use plastic producers, it is Coca-Cola, it is Pepsi, Nestle, and Danone. It's the top 4. It's the top 4 in water as well. It's exactly the same league table. And now, but I think it's not just that the world has to change. I think the world is also changing, and I think that comes from 2 directions. It comes from a regulatory side. It comes from a normative side, where we are saying, look, we are living in a world of finite resources, and we need to change that. It will come from carbon taxes. It will come from plastic bans. And these are not just, being installed in some, vogue Scandinavian country where that can afford it, but we see India, for example, now installing, having plastic bans. I don't know, maybe you've seen it, on single-use plastic, not for bottles yet, but for single-serve food. And if a place like India can do that, it will come to all of us. So those are carbon taxes, plastic bans, normative standards that will change the way we are consuming. And then from the other side, from the consumer side as well, we are seeing radical changes. 7 out of 10 Generation Z are using, and I'm sure many of you have children, are using refillable bottles. There is radical change in user behavior next to normative elements as well. So what we said is, well, let's take these, let's accelerate that change, and let's build a brand, or let's build a product that is very high on technology in the inside. So we have more than 5 patents filed and granted. There's a big team of water scientists and engineers that has built this product. But no one really cares about this if it's not a beautiful consumer offer and provides a brand that really is enjoyable and is something that people care about. So we created this product called Mitte Home, which our slogan is bottled at home, and wants to create water for the 21st century, creating personalized taste, making it convenient and affordable, and also making it sustainable in the course of doing so. And now I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of how we do this. We do this in a direct-to-consumer kind of way. So we engage with people directly. So we have now around, we're live in Germany, we have around closing in on the 4-digit, basically, number of users that we serve directly, which is great. We're working omni-channel, so a lot of performance marketing, digital marketing, but also out of home. So we have, for example, this is our campaign where we're kind of ripping apart the old way of bottling, and it's bottled at home, which was a big success. We are also doing pop-up shops to experience the product, to get people to taste the product and see how easy it is to change user behavior, as well as sports advertisement, which is close to our core. And we're able to have some quite nice placements at a very affordable price last year. And it shows. I think that's very, very important. We are in the market now for 1.5 years, and we have a brand recognition unaided in Germany of 16%, which is a Nielsen study we did. There's Brita, for example, that has a 67% brand awareness. But those guys have invented this pitch in 1978, while we are in the market for 1.5 years. So it's the awareness that we are creating now that we'll hopefully harvest by conversion and getting more and more people in our system. As mentioned, we're live in Germany currently. We are preparing for our US launch as the next big market for us, where the underlying water quality is also we think is going to be a key conversion driver for us, to people getting into the system, when many places in Germany people are just fine, and they should also be fine. We don't want to convert tap water drinkers to our users if they're fine with it. We're only selling direct to consumer, only through our website. Please check it out, mitte.co. And our way to scale and to even bigger scale is hardware partnerships. So we are working with the world's largest manufacturers to provide scale. So we formulated 2 big partnerships, one in the US and one in Europe, to basically create lower cost devices and use their channels to sell it. And basically we will be focusing on the digital infrastructure, our brand, and our waters, our cartridges. The impact that we want to generate, or that we are focusing on, is 2 million users by 2028. We want to have 507 million in revenue, of which 99 should be recurring. So we are focusing, and I didn't mention that yet, on a water as a service offer. So we are selling at $39.99 per month. It's not the traditional way of buying the machine and then buying consumables, but it's an all-in price of $39.99. So we have a good MRR, recurring revenue, with 2.5 billion bottles that we want to have saved by then, and 1 million ton of CO2 that has not entered the atmosphere. And I think I'm even ahead of time, which is great. I think I'm the first one. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much, Moritz.